Well, hopefully, I'm just going to be kind of talking about all the different ways to sell products. Yep, ShaunAndersonArt.com. Okay. Thanks, Jason. All right. Yeah, so I graduated from BYU, Idaho with an art degree and graduated and went and used that degree for sales and business. So, um, and right before I started working at Monkey Bar Storage, I was a sales rep for a company here in town, Prosper. You familiar with Prosper? And so I spent all day long talking to people and trying to sell them to get a coach to do drop shipping, what I'm going to talk about today. And I was horrible at it because I didn't have a testimony of drop shipping. I thought there was too many people trying to do it and is oversaturated and didn't know how you can make so much money drop shipping. But once I finished that, went to Monkey Bar Storage, realized, wow, there's a lot of money to be made in drop shipping. If you got a product, and there is a lot of places, tons of platforms that you can sell your product. And that's what I'm going to talk about today is multi-channel drop shipping. There's a lot of different platforms to sell your product. So first off, the first platform is marketplaces. Anybody name some marketplaces that you can sell your products on? Amazon, right? That's by far the biggest marketplace here in the United States. There's a bigger marketplace than Amazon worldwide, and that is eBay. eBay is still the largest marketplace worldwide. For us at Monkey Bars, Amazon kills eBay. We do way more sales on Amazon than we do eBay. But the exciting thing is we're just kind of getting started with international. And according to the search traffic and the sales traffic, our eBay sales should eventually be bigger than our worldwide eBay orders should be bigger than our U.S. Amazon orders, according to search and sales traffic. So we're pretty excited about that to get eBay going internationally. We've already started it. eBay's got a pretty cool program where you just like we're live on all of the eBay's sites throughout the world, and we just have to ship it to Kentucky, and then eBay takes it from there, and they ship it to any country that they have. So it makes it pretty easy. You don't have to do a whole lot of logistical work with that. So there's other things like Etsy. There's a lot of marketplaces. These are kind of the biggest ones here. Jason put on the title of Amazon's not the only player in the game, so I won't talk too much about Amazon and eBay. That could be for another time. So another platform, I call it just internet retailers, and I break internet retailers up into two categories. You've got your mass merchant retailer, and these guys, some of the big ones that we work with is like Wayfair.com. These guys, mass merchant, they want an endless aisle, is kind of what they call it, endless aisle. They just want as many products as they can get. Okay, they don't care. Their store is as big as they want it to be because they're not limited in for space. They're not a brick and mortar retailer, so they're pretty much good with any product they can get. But they are picky on who they work with. They don't want to just work with anybody. And we're going to talk about what they want, what they're looking for a partner. Yeah, and then you've got niche. And some of the other big ones that we personally work with here, like Home Depot, they're kind of, I would call kind of in the middle between niche and mass merchant. HomeDepot.com. You've got, we do garage storage, so we've got like GarageOrganization.com. Hayneedle.com, that's a big one. So, of course, the niche websites, if you can fit their niche, and they also a lot of the niche websites, they'll only carry brands that kind of fit. Like if Garage Organization, for example, if their niche is kind of high-end garage organizations, then they're kind of picky on what kind of products they sell on their website. It's kind of like it's like they're building their own brand, so they don't want to have a cheap product on their website if they're marketing to the high-end consumers. So you kind of have to fit their brand, their website, with that. The next category that I have, you could really put this into the same category, but for me, I break it up into a whole different category, and that's flash sale sites. So these are companies like Woot.com. Like Jason mentioned, we'll sell, over 500 units in a day on Woot.com. Again, like Jason said, if you have any questions or comments as I'm going through this, feel free to raise your hand. Yeah. Yeah, they're discounted. I feel like I do a pretty good job of holding my ground with my negotiations, mainly because my boss kind of makes me do that. But depending on what price range you're at of what your product is, for me, our product's around a $80 item at retail, full retail. And so I start my negotiations around 10 to 12% discount under the wholesale price, and then we end up usually about 15%. And I tell them, like, so far I've told all my flash sale sites I do not go under 15%, and I just kind of held it to that. So I'm working with a company right now that I might have to not live by that. It's called APAC Sales. And the reason why I might have to lose a little bit more margins with them is because the majority of their customer base is in Australia, Malaysia, and those types of things. So then I'm gonna have to eat a little bit more to help pay for the shipping to get it over to those other countries. Yeah, here and then here. Mhm. Uh huh. Mhm. Yeah. Good question. Ours is kind of a unique situation. We have the dealer base. If you're familiar with Monkey Bar stores, we have our dealers. Woot is based out of Dallas, Texas, and our dealer there did an installation, did a garage, did the owners of Woot.com. They did his garage. And so the owner was a huge fan of Monkey Bars, and he's like, "Man, you need to sell this on my website." "Oh yeah, what website do you own?" "Woot.com." "Oh yeah, I've heard of that website." Right? So the owner, we kind of got the contact that way. So yeah, yeah, yeah. My value to any of you here is I now have a network of 250 of these. So now I can take that network that has taken me 2.5 years to build up, and now I've got the information of the buyer. Now I can just be like, I've got another product. Okay, so, but there are some things that are really important to these internet retailers, which again we'll talk about later, that if you were to work with these companies, there's some things that we have to make sure are in place. So, because I don't want to ruin the relationship with these people. So, one that we just ran for the first time this last week is called Jilt.com. They did pretty good for us. Most of these flash sale sites, they'll do a sale with us about every 6 weeks. So, and I asked them, I said, if we do a sale every 6 weeks, are we going to see the numbers start to drop? Because you've got your customers, you notify them of a sale. I mean, eventually you're going to get through all your customers, and they're either going to want it or not. And they said, we found that as long as we space it out enough, like, we don't see the sales drop too much. So that's kind of nice to be able to have those sales. You get a dozen of those flash sale sites, and you're on a 6-week rotation with each of those. I mean, you're always having one going on. You can really start to build up some numbers, some huge volume. I think you had a question I forgot to answer. Well, I just set my price, again, at 15% below my regular price that I'm selling to all of these guys, and then I let them sell it whatever they want. So if they only want to make $1 per sale, or if they want to make $10 per sale, I don't really care. So that might bring up another thing that I wanted to talk about today, is how do you sell in all of these different platforms, all these different channels, and keep them all happy? Okay. Map price. Okay, minimum advertised price. You've got to set a map price, and I try to only do like flash sale sites, or I'll do promotions. So like maybe I'll work with Wayfair and to get onto their homepage, and we'll do a discount, and they'll sell it below map. I try to only do that one at a time. So I only have one sale going at a time. And if I have one of these guys call me up and say, "Hey, I saw your sale on Woot.com," that happened. Garage Organization, they call me up, and he's ticked. "I saw your sale on Woot.com. He's selling below map." I just say, "You want to sell below map?" "Sure. Okay, you can sell below map. Let's set a date. We can do a sale. You put us on your homepage. You can do just what Woot did." "Okay." So that kind of appeases them to just tell them that you can do the exact same thing that Woot did. So yeah. Yeah. Good question. So all of these guys have their Amazon account. Sorry, I'm not doing a very good job of repeating the question, I just realized. So the question was, do I allow these guys to sell on marketplaces? And the answer is yes, I do. I allow them to sell on all of these. but I haven't done yet. My feeling has been I don't want them to do their promotions and sell below map on the marketplaces. And I personally don't ever list below map on my Amazon account or eBay. I always sell at map. Because I feel like if I ran a promotion on my account on a marketplace, that would be unfair to these guys. So I haven't done it. I realize there's probably a ton of potential in doing that, running a promotion on Amazon. You've probably experienced that. The amount of sales you can run through in a day on a promotion on Amazon, but I want to keep these guys happy, so I don't do it. I haven't done it. So, and I'm contemplating on letting them run a promotion, but I haven't allowed that yet. So I'm just still kind of battling that out in my mind. So, Kim, did you have a question? Mm-hmm. What they do is I have to, they give me projections on how much they think they could sell, and then I give them a reserve. So I say, you can sell 100 of this item, and I promise them that I'll have that inventory. And so when they do the site, they'll go until either they, like Woot, they have a lot of different sales, but like if they sold 100, then they're out of stock. Because I told them, I only have 100 that you can sell. But they don't actually buy them. Yeah, they don't buy them up front. I just give them a reserve. So, okay, back to map pricing. You've got MSRP. Uh, and then you got map. Okay, manufacturer retail price and minimum advertised price. On the manufacturer website, so on monkeybarstorage.com, we sell at MSRP, okay, which for us is $10 higher than MAP. So that's another thing that keeps these guys happy, is we're selling it at $10 higher. Okay, if we were selling it at the same price on our website, they wouldn't be too happy, and I would have a really hard time getting these guys to come on board, because they'd be like, they just go to your website and buy it for the same price. Okay, and a lot of the consumers would prefer just to buy it from the manufacturer's website, and we get a decent number of I mean, not anything close to compared to all these, but I mean, we get sales from customers here, even though it's $10 higher. There's just something about people like to work directly with the manufacturer. So yeah. Well, most of these guys are offering free shipping. Anyway, so yeah. So that leads me to my other thing with map pricing. You have to set your map price at high enough that your third party or your internet retailers can offer free shipping to the customer, but still pay for that shipping and still get around a 30% margin. So they're paying for the shipping, and we can either use their shipping account, or we can use our shipping account, and we just bill them for whatever the shipping amount was. So that's kind of my rule of thumb with map pricing. That's I've seen about 30% of the retail price is what the margins they're wanting. So. Uh-huh. Mhm. Yeah, both. With the smaller guys, we just do an email. They just send an email, and but the big guys like Home Depot, those types of companies, they have software that they work with. There's companies, let's call it like SPS Commerce, Commerce Hub, those types of things that you have to sign up for, and you do all of the orders and invoicing and everything through that portal. And that's your expenses with this, outside of course, your cost of goods, is pretty minimal. One of the things that you have to pay for when you work with the big boys is those software programs. Like for One of the companies we use, SPS Commerce, and it's like $200 to set up a new account, a new relationship, and then it's like 50 cents a document. So you send over an invoice, it's 50 cents. You send over, something else, 50 cents. So it's kind of how that works. But yeah, we do both. And what we do is what we've done, which makes it a mess on our end logistically, but we just do whatever they do. We just use their system. Because I feel like they've got a lot of, especially the big boys, they've got a ton of companies that they're working with, and they have their system. And if you want to work with them, there's no other option. You use their system. I can't say, well, actually, we have this system, so like no, no, you use theirs. So we have 200 different processes, which makes it crazy. But hmm yeah, well, these guys are really, really good at doing what you do: internet marketing, Google ads, social networking. Yeah. No. Yeah. But and they do get quite a bit of their sales from Amazon, which is why they need 30% margins, because half of their sales are on Amazon, and then they have to pay 15% to Amazon. So yeah, there's a lot of just all fighting for the same piece of the pie, for a piece of the pie on Amazon. So um, let's see, where do I want to go next? Let me talk about how I get these guys. Okay, there's a lot of ways to do it. How I did it was um, I just got on the phone and started calling people, and that's that's not the funnest way to do it. My first like 3 months at Monkey Bars was a really boring job. I was just on the phone and emailing people all day long, of uh, asking them to sell on their site. And it's just like anything else. When you first start, you're pushing that ball and it's really heavy and it's not moving very fast. And nobody really wants to work with me at the very beginning, because one of the things that they value is brand. How much traffic are people searching for your brand? And since that wasn't it was non-existent, then they didn't have much hope that they would sell much. So it was hard at the beginning, but I would just get on the phone and I would talk to the receptionist, and I would ask for the buyer in the home category, or if I could tell it was a small company, I'd just say the vendor coordinator, and they probably just had one person that dealt with all of the vendors. And so she'd give me the phone, or she would just forward me to the person, and they never answer their phone. But then I got the name. So then, as soon as I left the voice message, I would just go back and call the secretary again and say, "Hey, Sarah didn't answer. I think it'd be best if I just left her an email. Can you just give me your email address?" And so then I would email the person. And so then she gets hit with the voicemail and the email, two different directions. And, eventually I got people to respond to me, and slowly but surely got some companies going. And so um, let me that's what I did. Yeah. hmm Yep. Yeah, my presentation, or the words I use and in my email that I send has changed, and I'm going to show you why. Yeah. Um, So you're saying if they find out that their competitor is selling it, then they don't want to deal with you? Okay. Uh-huh. Hmm. Is that brick and mortar or retail or internet? Is that internet too? Really? Um, I believe you. My experience has actually been my experience has actually been opposite. For example, that one I was telling you, that flash sale site APAC, um, that sells in Australia and stuff. This is just one example. It's happened to me a lot in the last 6 months or so. But they find me through being on their competitor flash sale site. So I was on Jilt.com on the sale. They see the sale going on. He contacts me and says, "Hey, your product looks great. Why don't you sell on my site too?" So there's probably both of that going on. So yeah. Um, okay, so how do I find companies to sell my product? So this is a survey that SBS Commerce did, that company that I told you about that we share documents with our partners with. They surveyed vendors, so like Monkey Bar Storage, and then they surveyed the retailers. So um, where retailers go to find new companies, new products, trade shows. Okay. Um, I haven't been to a single trade show. Okay. But if I was to start it all over again, I would ask my boss to send me to trade shows. And we've been talking about this for a long time, so these guys probably don't believe me, but we want to get into brick and mortar retail. We've gotten into some, but we want to take it more serious. And if we do that, I'm telling my boss, we're going to trade shows. I'm not going to get on the phone as much. I'm going to do more going to trade shows, because that's where they find it. Online research. This is what's taken my business to the next level. Is once I started getting companies selling for us and I got seen out there, buyers of other websites, they're out there, they're searching for products to sell on their site. They come across Monkey Bar's products out there on the internet, and then they contact me and say, we'd like you to sell on our website. So I've gotten to the point now where I don't have to do very much cold calling and stuff anymore. They're finding me and they're contacting me and say, we want to work with you. Yeah. Yeah. If I go to this next page, the best way, so the first slide was what they do, but the best way is online research. That's the method they prefer. And that's yeah, like you said, that's where it's going. Is they just research products and find what they like. Yeah. Mhm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if we go back to this one here. Again, you just kind of look to see where most people. So if you're wanting to get all these retailers, just look at this graph. I'll email this out, or if you just want to email me, I have my email address at the end. You can email me, and I'll just email you this presentation, so you don't have to write all this down. But okay. Um, so I can testify to that online research because that's where I'm getting most of my companies now, is them finding me. So, um, okay. So back to Dave's question of has my pitch changed since I started, and absolutely. And a lot of it goes right along with this. Okay, so what do these third companies, what do they want? Okay, number one is price, and I can testify to that. All they care about, well, they care about other stuff, but the main thing they care about is, are they getting their margins? If they're not getting their 30% margin, I don't care what you're selling unless it's an iPad. They're not selling it. Okay? They're not going to work with you. So, obviously, when you're writing your email to these companies to have them sell your product, you're going to put their margins if it's good. If it's not, then I guess you wouldn't want to advertise that in your email. But so tell them what type of margins they're going to get. Item availability. This is huge too. They do not want to work with manufacturers if you're going to run out of product. Okay. I'm proud to say that in 2.5 years doing this, we've never run out of inventory. I've had to turn down some opportunities, but if I told somebody that I have inventory, I've got it in stock, and so I'm shipping. So the only opportunities I've turned down is big flash sale sites. But as far as the internet retailer where we're permanently on their catalog, I've always got inventory. They don't want to have to go through and say out of stock on their website. It's not worth their time. So again, like I said, I've got a network built up. One of the things that would be huge for me is to make sure you're always having inventory in stock. So their third thing that they're looking for, the retailers are looking for, is brand recognition. Okay, I can probably guarantee it. When I send out an email saying I'd like you to sell my stuff, what they're doing is they're going to Google's. They changed the name recently. What is Keyword Planner? They're going to Keyword Planner and they're seeing how much search volume is for the brand that you're trying to sell. And if it's really high, Google's got all the tools. You can see what the potential is. That's huge. Compliance with trading requirements. Again, we talked about all those different documents and stuff that you have to have with the big boys. They require all that, and that's a little bit of an expense in the beginning. So when I was first doing my pitch in my emails, I was saying stuff like this. We've got 15 employees. I don't know if I said that, but we've been in business since 2002. We've been doing drop shipping for 2 years. They don't care. They don't care about that stuff. This is what they care about. Yeah. We've been in business for 30 years. Your margins are 2%. Okay, say it. Okay. All right. Okay. So looking at that graph, that tells you how to pitch it. So, how have your customers changed in the last 2 years? Requires immediate availability and shipping. Amazon kind of changed the game. Now with Amazon, everybody expects you have it in stock, and I get it in 2 days. Okay? And one thing I've learned is my sales increase if I have really fast shipping. That's one of the things that my eBay, with the eBay account, that's one of the thing that really jumped our sales on eBay, was being able to have fast and free shipping. Okay? So I ship within 2 days, and it's free. So, and the same thing with all of those 250 internet retailers that I have. They want to be able to put ships within 1 business day, and you'll get it within 3 days. They want to put that information on their website. So you've got to be on your game with shipping. This is a dairy farm business. There's no taking days off. If you take a day off, you've got to have somebody there at work every single work day, Monday through Friday. You can't ever have nobody in your business. You got to ship every single day. Our customers have changed in that knowledge of competitive offerings and knowledgeable on price. One of the things that I am working to do is giving my customers the ability to see all of their options in one place, and that's the manufacturer website. I want my customers to be able to see all their options. That's what they want. They want to see all of their options, and they want to know a lot about the product. We got to do a really good job of giving the information to the retailer on the product information. Great pictures, great videos, um, so that the retailers can educate the customers. Um, that's all the slides that I have. Any other questions that you want to ask? Yeah, Dave. Uh, Testing exactly what again? Oh, okay. Uh-huh. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. I kind of rely on the last couple weeks of Terapeak. Anybody familiar with Terapeak? They'll give you information on that exact thing. They'll tell you, they'll give you recommendations on what your title should be, um, which is pretty cool. So, um, but I haven't done a lot of that, unfortunately. But I'm starting to do it now, Terapeak. eBay and now Amazon. Yeah, yeah. So, yep, yep. They have the title. I think it's called title, product title. I can't remember the name of the tool. Yeah, product title builder. So, yeah, yeah. A channel advisor. What's that? Oh, channel advisor, the company. Um, I haven't. I had lunch with the owner, and I haven't done anything with him yet. But I went to an eBay conference down in Vegas, and I met the owner there, and we had lunch together, and I still have things to do. Have you worked with him? What do you want to explain? Kind of what channel advisor is? Mhm. Mhm. With price and inventory. Mhm. Mhm. Uh huh. Mhm. Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. Uh huh. Yeah. I haven't yet, but I probably will be forced to soon. As soon as I get on all the Amazons throughout the world, we're probably gonna be shipping a pallet to the UK, to their fulfillment center, um, within the next couple weeks. Um, which is cool. I can talk about that. Um, and you could invite me to give a presentation once I have the experience on this. But so for Europe, we're gonna ship a couple pallets of products to Amazon, the Amazon fulfillment center, and then they're basically my distributor. So now, once I have the products there, I can go and I can start contacting internet retailers in all of Europe, and then Amazon will ship it to the customer. Mhm. Uh huh. It's awesome. It's like the secret sauce recipe. Amazon, they dictate everything. Hmm. Oh, really? Oh, you're asking that. I was gonna say I haven't experienced that. So I was okay. No, I haven't experienced that at all. We still own the inventory, and so I set whatever price I want, and I do whatever I want. Now, if it's shipped and fulfilled by Amazon, then that's a different story. And I haven't had Amazon. Amazon hasn't bought our product yet. So yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, there's a fee. Yeah, there's a fee if you don't sell it fast enough. Yeah, yep. And I'm working to get it in the UK right now. So, and with it in the UK fulfillment center again, they'll ship. I can have it live on all Amazons in Spain, any of them, Italy, and the one in the UK will ship to all of those. So if you're in Italy and you're on Amazon dot Italy, it'll show up as FBA, and then the one in the UK, the fulfillment center in the UK will ship to Italy. Yeah. Mhm. Mhm. Uh huh. Yeah. Can the Amazon what? Oh. Yeah. So. Yeah.